Family, good morning. Kyle Henderson, Bama Football on YouTube. This is Wake Up Bama for Thursday, January 29th. Coach Kalen DeBoer spoke to the media down in Mobile, Alabama, and spoke about the quarterback retention and the roster continuity. He spoke about how important it was for Alabama to retain both Keelan Russell and Austin Mack. He viewed it as critical, okay? Now, I find it so interesting, Alabama's quarterback process, right? I still feel that Alabama is a program that wants to develop its quarterbacks over time. And I feel like the rest of the world of college football, what they're doing right now is they're just buying the most experienced quarterback. You know what I'm saying? Look to an example like LSU, what they're doing right now, right? Just bought Sam Leavitt. Look at what Miami's doing right now. They just bought Duke's quarterback. Look at what Texas Tech is doing. Look at what Indiana is doing for this next season, etc. I think there's few programs that are developing because they just want experience. Now, with Keelan Russell and Austin Mack, you have two of the most talented quarterbacks, but they don't have experience. And is that going to be difficult for Alabama this season? I don't know about that. But it's going to take these guys some time. And the way that these guys get better is while they don't have the experience, they can get better by competing against each other, right? I think that is going to really boost those guys. And like I've been talking about, as you talk about the quarterbacks, this is going to be an opportunity for these guys to kind of outdo each other every single day in springtime, spilling over into the fall season, right? So Coach Kalen DeBoer did speak about the fact that Alabama had fewer portal losses this year compared to past years. And I know you see the big numbers. Everybody's losing guys to the portal. Like, that's just how it's going to be. But they were able to retain a lot of guys, right? And DeBoer emphasized guys that want to be at Alabama, right? System familiarity, right? Continuity over kind of like a constant churn of guys. And that's why, I wish we celebrated retention more. I think that's going to be one of the biggest. Like, can we have retention rankings? Can those be out there? Like guys who played the most snaps, guys who are most valuable to the team in terms of like a team type guy rather than a me type guy, right? There'll never be rankings like that. But I think familiarity with the program is very important, okay? The two quarterbacks who we know, right, they understand the system, and they can lead off from where they were last year going into this year. Now, the whole quarterback competition, clear as day, it was Austin Mack as the number 2 quarterback. We all know that. But I don't think he earned the starting spot. He didn't. He's got to battle for it. And we spoke about Jet Thamala yesterday and what he brings to the table. And no, we are not forgetting about Taden Kahawa, okay? There's 4 quarterbacks. I'll talk about him every single time just so people know that I don't have anything against the quarterbacks. Every year, I don't like a quarterback. It's the weirdest thing. I want the best player to play, period, okay? And I think the points to ponder about these guys is like, does quarterback continuity finally stabilize this offense from like a year-over-year standpoint? And what I mean by that is these guys have been in the program. These are guys that have been recruited specifically by Coach Kalen DeBoer and Ryan Grubb. Does that help the offense? Because when you look to Alabama's offense, just think about this. Is there experience at the quarterback position? No. Is there experience at the running back? Those guys saw some opportunities, but there's not a lot of experience, to be honest. How about the wide receivers? Okay, only Ryan Williams and Lazier Brooks. Tight ends, they're young. Offensive line, you return 1 guy. So the offense is relatively young coming back in terms of experience. But does the fact that these guys have been in the system, does that help them? And I think another thing is like, is retention becoming Alabama's new competitive edge? Think about that. Think about this. While other programs, Miami, Texas, LSU, Ole Miss, they clearly have gold mines somewhere. Maybe Alabama's gold mine is still like the script A and be able to retain players because of the high value that just the brand has overall, right? Something to think about. With that said, family, welcome to Wake Up Bama for Thursday, January 29th. By the way, I'm feeling much better, okay? And thank you for sticking with me as I've been kind of getting through all this. And I think, it's been a great opportunity today, right? I'm cutting this at night. Today, everything has gone wrong. Everything. From the moment I woke up, even just a little bit ago, from a technology standpoint, my day, all this sort of stuff. And I think it was a great opportunity because how many times in life are things just going well for you? All the time, right? Pretty much. Like, I get it. You hit some bumps now and then, but like when you have that one day and everything is wrong, you spill your coffee, your computer messes up, you can't remember this, that, like you have to restart stuff, right? Sometimes that'll break you and you'll complain and you'll go into the complaining zone. Today, I think this was a good opportunity to kind of reflect on the blessings that you have when things are just going well. So today, we'll take our lumps and we'll move forward. And that's what you do as an adult, because guess what? There's going to be more adversity. Hopefully not tomorrow, because we dealt with a lot today. But if it comes, we'll be ready for it, right? And this will callous us and we'll be mentally prepared to be able to breathe it out, focus on it, take on one problem at a time, be systematic about it, not be a baby cry about it, and be able to deal with the things that we have to do as a grown-up, okay? So I appreciate you guys kicking it with me right here on Wake Up Bama. If we could get over 500 thumbs up, I would really appreciate it. I promise you I'll make this show a banger. We'll polish it out with some calls in the back end, and I appreciate you guys being here on Bama Football on YouTube. I'm almost better. I can feel it. I think I need more rest, and we'll continue to push through, okay? So with that said, let's move on to the next topic, and that's talking about the defensive line and the edge outlook. Coach Kalen DeBoer said that he was fired up about this unit when asked about this unit down in Mobile. And this was on Wednesday afternoon. He said, bigger, longer, more athletic. I was thinking about that. I was like, okay, bigger. Okay, Terrence Green, bigger than Tim Keenan, right? Longer. He's longer. 6'6", 330, right? More athletic. Devin Tompkins, 6'6", 285, right? Is he more athletic and bigger than LT Overton? Maybe. Is he going to play that bandit position? I know he can. How about Zulu coming in? 6'6", 255? You see what I'm saying? So it's like, I think with those components, and then you add on like a Yanzi Pierre who's coming back for an extra year, who they retained, that's an athletic and a really big group. I think it was really a home run, as we spoke about, to get Terrence Green. Devin Tompkins, I'm excited to see, like, how does he transition from USC over here, and what does he bring to the table from a bandit standpoint, and maybe when he's playing in the middle next to Terrence Green? Because think about this. Let's say Terrence Green is 6'6", 330, and then Devin Tompkins is 6'6", 290. Yo, those are like the Twin Towers right there, right? So I like that. He said he's got a lot of excitement about the returners and the newcomers. Emphasis, and this is the thing that he talked about when reporters were asking him about the transfer portal additions. He said this again and again. He emphasized character, leadership, and guys that have like a team captain vibe. Come on, right? Now, when he was asked about kind of the defensive outlook besides the defensive line and the edge, he acknowledged that that one of the biggest losses was losing the three linebackers. I've said that 100 times. I mean, it's clear as day. Deontay Lawson, Nikhai Hill-Green, Justin Jefferson. Those guys all left with their master's degree, right? They were experienced guys. So that area is going to be an area of focus. Now, you do have Caleb Woodson coming in. And someone inside the comment box said this, and I wasn't mad about it at all. They were like, what if you move Justin Hill to inside linebacker? I know. We got Caleb Jones coming in, Caden Jones, rather. Sorry about that. Caden Jones. And you got all those younger guys who are freshmen that have grown up. QB Reese, of course. But I wouldn't be mad about Justin Hill being an inside linebacker. I don't know. I know he's playing, behind Yanzi, but I was just thinking, I was like, because right now you have Caden Jones and you have Caleb Woodson there. I guess he's your inside backers. It could be interesting to think about. Let me know inside the comment box. I think early on, it's safe to say it sounded like Coach Kalen DeBoer had a lot of confidence about the defensive line, but he also admitted, he's like, look, haven't seen these guys practice. Haven't seen them come together, just at least like talking to them, watching tape, watching film. That's how he feels. And I think kind of the points to ponder is like, did Alabama truly upgrade on the front? Because Coach DeBoer did say that they upgraded. He did say that. And can leadership replace experience? And that's a good question, because that leadership, like from a Terrence Green coming in, can that replace the experience that Tim Keenan had? Because Tim Keenan had 5 years here. Like, he's from here, right? And I think that's the other thing, too, is like the experience that Caleb Woodson has coming from Virginia Tech. Can that help kind of replace like a Deontay Lawson, a Justin Jefferson? That's going to be an area where you're going to have to figure it out at inside backer, because losing those 3 vets, monumental. All right, fam. Before we get to our next topic, remember, we got a raffle going on. Hopefully we can spin the pinwheel this Friday. How to get into the raffle. Venmo, Bama _ YouTube, Cash App, Bama YouTube, $10 up to 3 opportunities for a chance for one of these hoodies, right? You win the raffle. We'll spin it on Friday during the Friday Live, and we'll announce the winner. Okay, this is what it looks like. This is undefeated. Okay, this is like updated gear that we have. Again, special thanks to our Wake Up Bama sponsors. How to become a sponsor of Wake Up Bama? Hit the join button inside that comment box area on your phone. There's different levels, and I appreciate your guys' support. And as you know, the video is powered by our friends at Sleeper. Get a $100 deposit match up to $100 when you use the promo code, which is simply tailgate. That is my personal tailgate. Available in 25 states. Terms and conditions do apply. So thank you so much. And again, yo, look down right now and be like, yo, this video needs 500 likes. Let's get it over. And I think we've missed the mark a couple times. I get it. We're in late January, but still, I'm delivering. Let's deliver on all fronts, okay? Together. All right? Teammates, we be the dream team, me and you, okay? All right. Coach Kalen DeBoer also spoke about kind of the youth eligibility and the long-term growth. And he talked about the portal additions and kind of prioritized multi-year eligibility. That was interesting. And what that means to me is specifically, he's kind of looking at what that was meaning to me was like the offensive line, right? You get a guy like Haywood, multiple years. You get a guy like Nick Brooks, multiple years. You get a guy like Delgatti, probably a couple years there. You get a guy like Strayhorn, a couple years there. We can go around the tank and look at some of these transfers that got some room to grow. I like that, because what that's going to do is it's doing 2 things. You get the transfer in, and then you can retain him. You see what I'm saying? Get that kind of buying mentality that Coach Kalen DeBoer was looking at, and then retain that player the next year. So I like that strategy. And he talked about the fact that youth did play a role on Alabama's team last year. And he spoke about kind of the expectations for players entering year 2, kind of those foundational players, right? How are they going to grow into bigger roles this season, right? Lazier Brooks, Dejon Lee, Michael Carroll, right? London Simmons, and why it was important to re-sign those guys. Those are the guys that are like freshmen last year. And those are guys going to be sophomores, like super sophomores. Those are some of the most talented sophomores in the country, period. I don't care what you say. That London Simmons, man, that guy is an absolute baller. 100%. All right? I think kind of the points to ponder with that is like, does youth become an advantage instead of a liability in 2026? These guys are younger. Sometimes you could have sophomore slumps. Shoot, look what happened to Ryan Williams. Man, that guy went on a terrible slump. But, I mean, sometimes it can work to the benefit. Look at the year that Xavier Brown had. Xavier Brown was one of the best corners in the country, right? And I'm thinking like, and this is my question to you, out of all the sophomores, okay, and you could even lump Keelan Russell in there, which second-year player makes the biggest leap? That's my question for you inside the comment box. Which second-year player makes the biggest leap? That's a good question. Let's see. You know what? A guy entering, and we talked about him yesterday when we were kind of breaking down some spring players. Like A.K. Deere could be a guy like that. If he, if they feed him the ball. I think another second-year player could be like, let's think. I mean, what are we going to see from like Dejoun Lee in year 2? Is it me, or does it seem like Dejoun Lee is like a junior? Doesn't he seem like way older? Dejoun Lee's just going into his second year of football. Like, what type of jump is he going to make? Right? There's no way in hell that Dejoun Lee's going to flatline. No way. I don't know. So my question to you, which second-year player has the biggest leap? Think about that. DeBoer, when asked about kind of the transfer portal evaluation, he's like, look, we addressed the needs. I said that. I was like, they needed a punter. They needed a kicker. They needed a long snapper. He took care of all that, right? And he said upgraded in several areas. He used the word upgraded. And again, to reiterate, he said character, leadership, and captain-type guys. I love that. When they sat down with these guys, they knew, because that's what you want. You don't want somebody. You don't want what were we calling them? Bag chasers. You get into a room with me and you're just talking about money. I know exactly where your mindset is, right? Trust me, you're going to get paid if you do the right job, right? We're going to take care of you. I don't want to talk about money. I want to talk about your mindset. I want to talk about your goals. I want to talk about your team goals, and I want to talk about where you're at from a team standpoint, because this is a team. This isn't golf. This is football, okay? So where are you at in that aspect? And then based off, my assessment of where you're at, then we can talk specifics. But I want you to tell me where you see yourself fitting in as a team, as a teammate. It sounds like that's kind of part of their process, right? And I guess kind of the points to ponder is like when you're looking at the evaluation of the portal class, is this portal class more about floor raising than splash? I don't know. Or do you think there's going to be some guys in there that are like absolutely just splashes? That's an interesting one too. Tell me a portal guy you just think is going to be an absolute splash. When you ask me that, I'm like Noah Rogers, NC State. I don't know why. That's the guy who thought, like, came to my mind. Splash, right? What will leadership translate into consistency on Saturday? And like, who from that transfer portal class can be who's going to turn into leaders that just got here? That would be very impressive, especially on the defense, because you got a lot of guys returning. This was one of the best parts about Coach Kalen DeBoer speaking to the media on Wednesday down in Mobile. By the way, where's my Mobile family at down here? Let me know if you're coming to us from LA. Next time I go to Mobile, we're going to get together. We're going to eat some food. We're going to link up, okay? And, I'll let you guys know when I'm coming into LA, and we're going to eat some food together, okay? And we're going to do like we'll do the call-in show somewhere. We'll do the show somewhere, and we'll get together. Does that sound good, LA fam? All right? I'm looking forward to it. I promise you. Because the last couple of times I went down there, like, I want to hang out. Okay, moving on. Offensive line reset. This was great. All right. So, Coach Kalen DeBoer was very open about needing just kind of to refresh here. So, he spoke about kind of why they made the change from Coach Kapilovic, right? Production, mindset, execution, fundamentals. Fresh start, many new faces coming in, okay? The focus going forward is kind of learning the system quickly, using staff continuity, and getting newcomers ready fast. We all know that there's going to be 4 new offensive line starters. Michael Carroll, and then, I don't know. We can assume that Racine Delgado will be center, but we don't know for sure. He's got to win the job, right? And when you have new offensive line coach Adrian Clem come on in, and who he didn't talk about, I don't think you can talk about it until it's like official. The teaching and the culture, how important is that going to be, and how quickly can Clem get up to speed on all of that, right? How quickly can we see them improve? And I've said this. There's not a lot of time for these guys just to like try to fix things. It's got to be now, because the offensive line was that bad. And I think with building the offensive line culture, offensive line, is receiving increased attention and resources, right? You got some big-time transfers coming in. And the culture has to start immediately. Coach Klim has a lot of pressure to build that right away. Daily habits, communication, weight room standards, pushing yourself, right? Keeping weight, good playing weight, learning the calls, getting in there with Ryan Grubb, understanding what's expected from that standpoint. And right now, they're in the weight room. It's like, can the weight room start kind of a starting point for these guys to translate to the toughness that is needed for the offensive line? And Coach was asked kind of about offensive line leaders to watch, right? And he said every single day matters. Every day. The mentality is always emphasized. Strength staff, reinforcing Alabama's work standard, right? He spoke about Michael Carroll. He spoke about William Sanders. He spoke about Jackson Lloyd. Not surprised to hear it. I think William Sanders is going to battle for a starting spot at guard, and Jackson Lloyd is going to be tough to hold off against some of these other tackles that came in. That's why I keep saying maybe Michael Carroll can be more a versatile piece within the interior, and Jackson Lloyd you can slide out to tackle. I don't know. I wouldn't sleep on Jackson Lloyd, and I think William Sanders is going to fight for a spot. So kind of the points to ponder on that is which returners claim leadership roles within the room. Could a super sophomore like Michael Carroll become like a leader within the offensive line? Does competition reveal new starters or solidify old ones? I think the competition with the offensive line is going to be equally as fun to watch as the quarterback competition. I do. I mean, think about a guy's experience as Javion James coming in from Mississippi State, and he's like, hey, what's up, man? I'm the starter. And Jackson Lloyd's like, no, you're not. We're going to battle for this. Like, you're here. I understand your experience, but we're going to battle, right? Every day, got to battle. Coach Kalen DeBoer also spoke about new wide receiver coach Derrick Nix and the wide receiver room. He praised Derrick Nix's experience, his relatability, and his coaching versatility. I think we've already seen some of Coach Nix, what he's going to provide from a recruiting standpoint, working those contacts, getting 2 late 2026 prospects to commit to Alabama, one running a 4.3. Where was that kid, right? And the experience I think that he has just within the area is really going to translate well, not only recruiting, but I think with the guys that are here. I think it's going to provide some good stability for valued guys who are coming back. For example, what I mean by that is like, I think Ryan Williams is going to mesh well with Derrick Nix, okay? Spoke to a couple people, and I think there's good symmetry there. Not that there wasn't with Jamarcus Shepard. I think just Ryan Williams needs to be pushed, and he needs to develop into that Sunday wide receiver that we know he can be. And I can't wait to see his growth this year. Lazier Brooks, that's another guy. You got to continue to push him as far as he can go because he can be one of the most dynamic wide receivers in the country. He's that good, right? We can't afford for Lazier Brooks to have a sophomore slump. No. No, we're going to fix things, and we're going to turn it up on these guys. And we're going to welcome in some of these new guys and with the new talent and turn these guys up as well. I think it starts with Derrick Nix, skill refinement. I understand the goggles and like catching rugby ball. Like, I am more traditional. I'm about like the football machine that shoots it out 100 miles an hour and you just catch it again and again and again and again. Whatever Devontae Smith was doing, do that, okay? The mental growth. How can we mature as wide receivers? What do we need to do outside of catching the football? Where is our stock blocking ability, right? We need to tighten up in all those areas. And a confidence reset. A confidence reset is so important for this group, especially a guy like Ryan. We need to get that guy his confidence back. That means maybe catching 1,000 balls every day for forever. I don't know. But we need that back because when that guy's on, he's got it 100%. And I guess like points to ponder within the wide receiver room, is this the year Ryan Williams kind of separates himself? Again, you're talking about a guy that was on the cover of the video game with Jeremiah Smith. to a guy who then led the country in drops, right? What type of bounce back year are you expecting from him? And I kind of wonder, does wide receiver consistency kind of hinge more on coaching or quarterback play? Like, how close are these guys with the quarterbacks? That's also got to be a symmetry that is very tight. There's got to be a lot of trust there. If I'm throwing the ball to you, I need to know that you're going to catch it. And if I'm a receiver, I got to trust you that you're not putting me in the hospital. Like, you're not throwing me a hospital ball. It goes both ways, right? And you know that there is a special chemistry between a quarterback and receiver. Like, you ever played the game, you just know. You can look at your quarterback's eye, you know. It's weird, but if you played the game, you know what I'm talking about. Where's my old wide receivers at? Get inside the comment box. Hey, family, if you're liking the podcast, let me know inside the comment box. Definitely get in there. Let's get over 500 likes on this video. I appreciate you guys so much. As I said, feeling much better. Maybe by the end of the week or this weekend, I'll be back to 100%. But thank you so much for kicking it with me right here on Bama Football on YouTube on Wake Up Bama, right? Pride in performance, the consistency in the performance. Like, whatever we're going to go through it together, I promise you, right? And I'm not going to lie. Doing something like this even every single day, it's a grind, okay? But we talk about it, so why not do it? Why not execute it? Why not practice what we preach? Why not put in the fruits to you know what I'm saying? Why not put in, like, the extra work? The late nights, the times when things aren't going well. How can you perform when you're going through adversity? You know what I'm saying? What type of character do you have? You're like, oh, man, screw it. I'm turning it in. I'm done. No. Sit down, figure it out, take your time, take a breather, come back, get the job done. That's the mindset that we want to have, okay? And I hope a little bit of that spills into you. I promise you, okay? Because that spilled into me every single time that I was listening to Coach Saban at the podium, and I would be leaving the field house, and I would still see his car at Mount Moore. Nobody left before Saban. Nobody, okay? Nobody. He got there before everybody, and he left after everybody. First one in, last one out. Period. Takes what it takes. That's it. There's no shortcut. This isn't Chutes and Ladders. You ever played that game? Remember Chutes and Ladders? Where there was that ladder, you would like roll it, and then you just climb up to the top. Life isn't like that. No chutes and ladders. There's more chutes. That's a good game, right? Isn't it kind of like this kind of like Candyland? Is it not? Huh. All right. Couple more things. All right. Coach Kalen DeBoer spoke about kind of the college sports legal landscape, which is just off the rails right now, right? Coach DeBoer acknowledges kind of the uncertainty around court-driven eligibility rulings. I mean, the stuff that's happening right now, like I was messing around on like Wednesday's morning show and being like, since Jamie Mosley didn't sign an official contract and never played on Sundays with the NFL team, theoretically, could he come back and like play for Alabama? What about guys that left and never played or signed an NFL contract? What about guys that left and played in like a different league than the NFL and still have years remaining? Could they come back? I'm dead serious. What if that happens? Coach Kalen DeBoer said there's a belief that football will face similar cases. I think they will too, 100%. You know, deep down in your heart, there's going to be some dude out there that sues the NCAA to come back and he's going to be granted eligibility and then it's all going to open up. Right? And I think kind of the points to ponder on that is this like, is play now, litigate later? Is that becoming the new norm? Think about what I just said. Is play now, litigate later the new norm? Kind of seems like it, which is really disappointing. But like, look, Trinidad Chambliss is going to be fine. He's going to come back for another year. What would that be, a 6th year? He was already calling Luke Ferrelli because they're so confident in that. I mean, Nate Oates already said that he's going to keep playing Charles Bediako because he knows they're not going to be penalized for it. What is the NCAA going to do? I have no idea. No idea. They try to maintain authority and they lose case after case after case after case. There's no uniformity. There needs to be a college football commissioner, right? And I think we all know deep down in our heart who the best one would be, right? Well, fam, I hope you guys enjoyed my segment, right here on Bama Football on YouTube. I appreciate you guys. Thank you so much. We'll dive more into what Coach Kalen DeBoer said down in Mobile on my Thursday show at 10 a.m. live. Coming up next, your calls from Wednesday's show right here on Bama Football on YouTube. Thanks for watching. Chris, what's up, man? Take it away, bro.
Kyle, how you feeling, brother?
I'm feeling I'm moving from 5 to 6 out of 10. But, the tech issues have been, a little bit problematic. And then I listened to the podcast this morning. Oh, my God, I sounded terrible. So sorry that you guys had to deal with that. It's just it's really important for me to be consistent through health and sickness and stuff like that. But geez, man, I sounded a little rough this morning. Plus my eyes yesterday were terrible. I feel much better today. So hopefully maybe by the end of the week, I haven't been able to work out this week. I've been kind of pacing myself, but I appreciate you asking. So hopefully we kind of get through.
I'll give you my mom's trick.
Okay.
Because I got to say, my mom used to kick us out of the house. Even if it was raining, we were outside all the time. We were never sick, my brother and I.
Yeah.
So zinc, vitamin C.
Yeah. Yeah.
Keep on taking zinc and vitamin. You're taking the zinc and vitamin C because that'll at least get you on the mending path. So, I think we all should be super, super excited and pumped regarding all this NIL money stuff. Did anybody notice? First of all, I think Courtney Morgan is worth his weight in gold, and I'll tell you why. Did you notice? Well, we lost some early names. Everybody was freaking out. I wasn't, and neither were you. But everyone was freaking out a little bit. And then we got the Clinton Dix text, or whatever you want to call it, tweet or X or whatever. Listen, the production is not there, and it wasn't on the field to get the numbers that people were demanding. So It tells me that these guys are way ahead of the curve on the money. And listen, Jalen Mbakwe, supposedly $3 million for 1 year, and then they sent him. They basically said, hey, the three, God giveth and God taketh away, Kyle. So hey, dude, you didn't even get on the field for $3 million. You're going down to 300,000, and he was off to the races. So no problem. Listen, we look what just happened with Indiana. They weren't even in the top 10 in paying NIL. So Saban said it again. You got to have the right. You better buy the right people, or you're out of luck. So I think these guys are I think they're way ahead of the curve. And how do we know that? Because they waited to the end to sign. You notice that, Kyle? So those guys were they had a big board in there, draft day, and they're this is how much money we have. This is who we need to re-sign. I think we're ahead of them all. Saying, hey, we're going to just give you like LSU just throwing money around willy-nilly. That's not the trade. That's not going to work.
Yeah,
it didn't. And let's face it, it didn't work for Oregon. They got smoked worse than us against Indiana, and they were the highest paid. Texas. They were the second highest, most spent. They didn't make the playoffs. Michigan third. They didn't make the playoffs. So I think we got to all be very positive. We got to worry about Kyle's health. Make sure we get our guy back to being healthy, and everybody stay warm. But we have a lot to be to look forward to. We have a lot to be thankful for, and I'd say that the coaching staff, and especially Courtney Morgan, I think they've got the winning formula right now. Now the formula could be, always changing. But hey, I give them a lot of credit. I think what they did in the portal was a home run, and I think we're going to be a much better team next year. Now, Kyle, I want to just say one thing is maybe there's a silver lining to the whole NIL situation, and the silver lining is that you it'll be a meritocracy when it comes to the on field and how people get paid, and that's a good thing. Hey, if a guy is not performing, he's getting paid. He's not going to get paid a year later. So listen, money is motivation for a lot of people, and all of a sudden I'm thinking that some guy's going to be out there busting his hump out there to perform because he knows he wants to keep either the money he's getting or get more the next year. So that I think is a silver lining. So, I'm really turning into like a positive guy now, Kyle. I don't know what happened to me. I used to be miserable. So listen, most importantly, health. We want you to heal. So get some rest, zinc, vitamin C, a lot of liquids, and keep up the great job. You're killing it. I guess in a matter of a week or two, you're going to be telling us all your inside scoops on the fourth quarter program, and then we're going to have spring practice soon.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
Lots to look forward
for
to.
sure.
Let's get out of this deep freeze. Let's get you healed
for sure,
and feel better, brother. And my best to you, undefeated. Roll Tide.
Sounds good, man. Thank you so much, Chris. I appreciate you calling in. All right. Yeah, good call. Yeah, you know what? Fourth quarter program is coming up too. So usually how that works is kind of the older guys will start going. They're probably already, they're already lifting weights right now, and then they'll start to acclimate some of the younger guys that are already here. So it'll get going. So let's see. This is just in from Nick Kelly. News: Tuscaloosa County Judge Jim Roberts has recused himself from the Charles Bediako case per court documents. Okay. So, yeah, we figured that might happen, and that's, something that we've been kind of tracking with the Bediako stuff. I know that I guess he was a donor to the program of the Crimson Tide Foundation. People wanted him out. He's out of the case now. So we'll see how it goes moving forward. I'm sure the same thing is going to happen moving forward anyways. All right, we welcome in Lucas calling in. Lucas, what's up, bro?
I'm doing good. How about you?
Why don't you start it, man? Because you usually say, "This is me, Lucas." Go ahead, do your thing. I like when you do it. Go ahead.
Oh, yeah. This is me, Lucas. I'm sorry.
No, I like that. Go ahead. Let's start it over. Hey, what's up? You're on the line with Kyle Henderson. Who am I on the line with, and where are you calling in from?
This is me, Lucas.
There you go. What's up, Lucas? Welcome to the show, brother. Come with it, man.
I want to talk about the Kalen Russell. After the Ty Simpson, Kalen Russell tweeted out to Miami. He told Miami, "Do not come at me, man. I'm staying at Alabama. I don't care what money bag you're going to throw at me. I'm not taking the money. I'm staying at Alabama." And that's the reason why I think when he said it when we were supposed to play in Indiana, somebody asked a question, are you going to leave? He said, "No, I'm going to stay at Alabama. This for sure." And he gave a quote. He said, if I win the job or not win the job, I'm going to still be supportive. So I think I know who's going to be our quarterback coming next year. And I know people probably might cringe on this. It's going to be Austin Mack. He is the older guy. He is the next older guy. And I think Kalen Russell is going to wait behind Austin Mack. And I think we can roll with Austin Mack. And after this year season, Austin Mack dips out. He goes to the NFL, and then Kalen Russell takes over that next year. And so, but I would say this. I'm kind of glad the portal is closed. If Kalen Russell would have won the job, and Austin Mack said, "Man, why am I'm not starting? I'm going to dip out. I'm not playing. I'm going home."
Yeah.
And then wait till next year. I'm going to dip out. And so I think Austin Mack is going to be our quarterback, and that's fine. We can handle Austin Mack. Mm-hmm. But, and I want to tell you about Grubb. I've been hearing a lot of rumors about Grubb and Pilovic, and him and Pilovic did not get along. There wasn't fighting, but there wasn't agreeing with each other. Like Grubb said, "Well, I want to play on Jordan Bernard," and Pilovic said, "No, why don't you just start Horton?" "No, Pilovic, I want to start Jordan Bernard." "No, I want Horton." "No." See, you know what I'm saying? And so one guy wants the next guy, and that's the reason why you saw issues. There wasn't agreement with each other. I mean, it's going to lead to bad habits on the field. And so you got to get coaches who you can agree with and stuff like that. So I think the right guy is gone. It's Pilovic, and I'm so glad he's gone.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I guess we'll have to see what happens with that. Go ahead, Lucas. Did you have something else to say? Go ahead, man.
I got one more thing, and I'll let you go.
Go ahead, bro.
What's I going to say? And that's the reason why I think Grubb was getting criticized, because everybody thought it was Grubb's fault with doing all the offensives. But the only thing I did have a trouble with is his gadget plays. But other than that, I think it was Pilovic all along, because if you go look at his past where he has been, it's not good. It's just not. I mean, it was horrible and stuff like that. But I mean, I won't give Grubb another chance coming this year. But if he does it again, maybe I want that dude gone. But I won't give him a chance.
Yeah, well, thanks for the call, Lucas. I appreciate it, man. Thanks for calling in, brother.
All
right, take it easy. Man, we get 772-256 and 678 coming up next. Jarvis with the big super chat, man. Man, yeah, Jarvis, I appreciate it. Yeah, by the way, my screen came back, right? Just kind of had to it was a kind of a bumpy start. And let's see what Jarvis has to say. Yo, Jarvis with the 50 spot, which is money, right? He says this: way to rise up and overcome adversity, brother. Better to get sick in the off season than the regular season. 100%, right? Show must go on. As Coach Saban said, they don't make them like they used to. Get well soon, brother. 100%. Yeah, thank you so much. Yeah, down just a little bit. So it's okay. You know, we fought through it. We're getting through it. I do feel better. I do feel better. I think tomorrow I'll be able to work out, which will be great for me mentally, right? Because I'm here. When I'm here, I don't even see anybody other than Lacey and Caden. Oh, you know what I made this morning? That was the first time I've ever made this. I know this is crazy because I'm cooking all the time, but I know this is going to sound weird. For the first time in my life, I made pancakes, right? You're like, oh, what? Yes, but I made the Kodak protein pancakes, and I put an extra scoop of protein powder in there for me and Caden. It was good, right? All right. So thank you, Jarvis. I appreciate it, man. 772. Let's do it. Hey, thanks.
Hey, morning, Kyle.
Yeah, who am I on line with and where are you calling in from?
My name's Tanner, and I'm calling in from Vero Beach, Florida.
Tanner, what's up, bro? You ever hit those Kodak pancakes?
Yeah, no, I actually have. Last weekend I killed about a stack of them.
Right?
New Year's resolution was trying to get into the gym and get working. So.
Yeah, man, they're good. So I threw in just some whey protein on top of them, mixed it up, and then you throw it in. Yeah, it was good. I put I'm a peanut butter guy. I love crunchy peanut butter, so threw it on. Yeah, it felt good, man. So Tanner, what's up, bro? Welcome on in. Come on.
All right, so I wanted to address just one thing, just the running back room. We've had a lot of talk about, are these the right guys?
Yeah,
are these going to be the right guys coming into the season, right?
Mm.
But if you think about it, all of these guys, I mean, they had just small explosive stints whenever we had, the harmony on the line to block.
Mm-hmm.
Our blocking, whenever we synchronize on that line, we were not blocking very efficiently last year.
Mm-hmm.
And with that, running backs can't really make their breaks. So I'm kind of just curious on where you think that's coming from on the question of are running backs the running backs for this year.
Man, that's such a damn good question, bro, because I'm asking that as well. And I'm asking that kind of for real. And then I'm also challenging y'all. And I'm challenging the running backs itself. Sometimes I get it. I'm smart enough to know sometimes people record my audio and they play it to the room. This happens, right? When you have a platform like this.
Of course.
My challenge is to the running backs, bro. If you're listening to this out there, show us. Show us, bro.
Yeah.
Show us that Daniel Hill. Show us that you can improve on your speed, right? If you're Kevin Riley, let's see what you got, man. Beat out AK Deer. And for AK Deer, this is to the coaches. Free him. Let's see what he can do with more opportunities. And this is to you, Ryan Grubb. If you hear this, right? let's see what he could do. In game opportunities outside of Louisiana Monroe, the younger guys, Xavier Crowell, like if you're listening to this, Crowell, all right, welcome to the show, man. This is a lot different from high school. You came here, and you're going to have to be patient and don't get frustrated if you don't get on the field right away. I don't know. This running back room, I have a lot of questions because I'm like, I think we got guys, but do we? I mean, there's a lot going on. Plus, we got to commit to utilizing these guys, and if these guys aren't getting 4 yards a pop, we can't go away from it, right? It's pound by pound by pound, and then something will break. What else you got, Tanner?
Yeah, no, I agree completely with that, especially with the pound by pound, because with such a heavy air raid, I mean, not really heavy air raid, but the way we verged off of the run as soon as we started, moving a wall, you just got to keep pounding them, man. We've got a 245-pound back.
Yeah.
Man, you give him a little bit more speed and experience. He is a monster on the field. He could break tackles. As soon as he gets into open space, you see, give him a little bit of speed, maybe cut back on 10 pounds of weight.
Yeah.
And you've got a really explosive back that's powerful, man. And then you've got Kevin Riley, who's a small, elusive back. You maybe add a little bit of weight to him, and, he's going to become a monster truck. He's small and fast, small and mighty. Get him through the line, and I'm excited about the new line that we have coming in. I mean, I've seen a bunch of tape on him. I mean, inexperienced as far as what we're used to, but I feel like the change was needed. So with that, hopefully this season will be a lot better.
Yeah, no doubt, man. I appreciate the call, Tanner. Call back again, bro.
Of course, thank you. I appreciate it. It's first time on here, so I'm glad to get there. You feel better, man.
Yeah, take it easy, man. Yeah, I'm getting there. Take it easy, Tanner. All right, Tanner from Florida. Man, I should have asked him what the weather was. Tanner, put the weather inside the comment box. What you got, man? I'm sure it's like balmy 70 something or something like that. Let's see. Gary inside the comment box says, Kyle, you ever cooked Oriental food? Takes a little bit longer. No. I the other night I messed around with some teriyaki chicken. I thought it was great. What I did was I basically sauteed onion, celery, and carrots together. Kind of let that sizzle up a little bit with some olive oil. Then cooked my chicken, put some teriyaki together, and I'm not gonna lie, it was pretty bomb. Now I can cook well. 256-678 and 502. You're up next. But I do have misses. I think that just comes with cooking. And recently I've kind of had some more misses than not. But you got to just keep at it. All right, 256. Hey, welcome to the program. Who am I line with, and where are you calling in from?
Madison, Alabama. Kyle, it's Rod.
Hey, Rod, what's going on? Thanks for calling from Madison. You ever checked out a Trash Panda game?
No. That's like going to watch Auburn play football. You know what I mean?
All right. Yeah, I appreciate the honesty.
Can't go Auburn on everybody.
All right. Well, yeah.
Hey, I was wanting to get it. Why did we keep Kapilovic through all the offensive line and recruiting and everything? And to me, that's like a doctor that's had a bunch of sick patients that died basically, and then you're going out and trying to get more patients. And it just, to me, that's not right. It's not the right leadership or nothing. It's bad. And we've got to get back to being physical on the O-line. And I don't know anything about this new coach. And I've heard something, if he stays healthy, what's wrong with kind of health problems?
I don't know. So I saw that too. Someone inside the comment box was like, did he recover from his health issues? I don't know what I was trying to look up on that. I don't know somebody did say that. Does anybody know? Because I was wondering that too. I was like, what? Health issues? And the other thing, I thought this was weird. Rod, was kind of the timing of the Kapilovic deal, because you didn't fire him. Look, I get it. It's a dirty game all the way around. But instead of firing him like the next day, you sent this poor dude recruiting all over the place. He got all the recruits.
It's like sending the Grim Reaper to go recruiting people. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but the thing was, he did help get some of these transfer portal commitments, and then as soon as you got the commitments, then they fired him. I mean, man.
Let me ask you this too. Yeah, I know you're probably a whole lot more than me. Does LSU have more money than us?
I think LSU. I mean, what's weird is isn't it their governor was like helping like make changes over there? Look, I don't know what is going on with LSU, but it seems – you know who also has a lot of money? Or I don't know where this is coming from. It at least seems to me like LSU and Ole Miss have like just buckets of just billions, right? You need $1 billion, boom, pull one out of somewhere. And I'm like, how? So I don't know if they're just where is this coming? How are they just being able to get like Jordan Seaton? Like all of a sudden, you're telling me because what are they paying Lane? Like 14, and then they said $25 million extra. You know that roster probably went over that. So what you're telling me Jordan Seaton like $7 million? You just had that? I don't know. I've been wondering that too. And the other program was like Miami. Miami just has unlimited money, I guess.
Oh, I get 7 season tickets. We're in Section A in the lower level, 57 rows up, and we got great seats. And it used to be $175 a donation. Mm-hmm. And a little funny story is when Alabama was, it's 2 and 3 years since they did it, they were talking about, they got a new way to pay NIL. And I was like, cool, And then my bill hit the next month. And I was like, this is how they do it. And it went from $175 a donation to $500 a donation. And then you buy the tickets. Yep. Last year it went to $585. And it's like, they're not going to be able, I don't see how they're going to be able to keep this up, but the one thing I would say we should do is all Alabama fans, if you go to the polls and we could do a 1% tax and it'll go nothing but for our football team, and I know Auburn would want to jump on board, but, we won't let them do that because there's more Alabama fans in the state. But there's got to be a way because it's going to be an arms race, and you might as well 100%. Have 10 teams in the whole country that's got the most money. It's where it's going to be. You know, who's going to have the most money? But I would like to see what we spent. Is there any way you can find out what we spent on players and put that up or whatever?
And see that's another thing that I disagree with. Is like help me understand this. All right, and maybe you could think about this, Rod, as well. Okay. Like, why can I could tell you how much Coach Kalen DeBoer makes. I can tell you how much a professor makes that teaches chemistry, right? Like, I can't tell you anything about Ryan Williams. I can't tell you anything about Lazier Brooks. But people are asking to, hey, you got to support these players paid, like have them paid. What's the difference? Why can't we see them being paid? I don't understand that.
Well, and then the Colorado kid, he goes to LSU, and the guy. Look, you can throw out everything in the world. I've coached football off and on for a long time, and I'm retired now. But what I'm saying is, the game is won on both sides of the ball. You can either stop the run on defense. If you got a good defense, that's a lot. And if you can run the football, and last year we had to come up with gimmick plays to try to get a first down. Stupid stuff. When it just blows my mind, and I don't know how good this offensive line coach is. Why didn't they get Sam Pittman? You got to kick the door down if we're going to be the best. We're supposed to be like the Yankees. We got to go get the best instead of, I don't know how good this cat's going to be. There's a difference of playing in the NFL. You don't have to have played in the NFL. You can be just as good as a coach, being able to do that. You can, it don't matter if you play in the NFL or not. If you can coach, you can coach. And who knows what, this guy can do or whatever. And that's what blows my mind. Well, I don't understand why we didn't go out and get the very best O-line coach. And tell me your thoughts on that.
Yeah, I'll answer on the other line, man. But thanks for calling in, Rod. I appreciate it, man. Thanks for calling in from Madison.
Okay, brother.
All right, man. Take it easy. I think. Look, to be honest, I don't know if Sam Pittman was ever like a realistic name on the board, right? I think I kind of labeled that with like kind of the coaches that we want from like the past. I think Sam Pittman is a great coach, and he has extensive history, and that would have been 100% slam dunk. But I think that these guys have somebody particular in mind that meshes well with their system, right? Look, I actually like the offensive line hire. I guess we'll just have to see. I mean, everybody's unproven until they get the job done. This guy is put in a very difficult spot because he don't have a year to grow the offensive line. It's got to be like right now, in my opinion. So good call, though. I appreciate that. How about that 1% tax, right? Imagine people doing that they go down and be like, for NIL, what the hell is this? All right, 678. Hey, you're on the line with Kyle Henderson. Who am on the line with and where are you calling in from?
Hey, what's up, Cal? This is Steven from Powder Springs, Georgia.
Steven, what's up, bro? Thanks for calling in from Powder Springs, man. Welcome to the program. What's the temperature over there, man?
Man, right now I'm at work, but I work outside. It's getting close to 40 right now. It's real pretty out.
That's nice.
So,
that's nice. Yeah. Yeah, that's good temperature. Yeah. Well, what's up, man? Welcome to the show, bro.
Yeah.
Come with it.
Yeah. First off, bro, I just want to say I'm praying for your healing so that you can get back to feeling and sounding like your old self.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, man, just keep doing what you got to do and get your rest when you can, because you ain't no spring chicken no more.
That's right.
So, but yeah, bro, you said something earlier that really kind of caught my attention, and I have been thinking about this ever since the Bediako thing started. All of these cats that, left school early thinking that they would get in the draft, and they never did. Free agents that never got in the league at all, may have went overseas or somewhere. If you think college sports is tore up now, bruh, just wait. If some kind of litigation in court goes through that allows people that still had eligibility to come back to school and play, if they had never signed with a pro team 100%. In any of the sports, bro, it's over. It is over. Because at that point, all you going to see is dudes that keep high school guys sitting on the bench for 2 to 3 years, no matter how much they get better. Because a lot of these cats, they graduated or didn't graduate, but they left for the doggone draft as a junior, and then they didn't make it. And if they were redshirt, they may have 2 years of eligibility left. So you got a whole bunch of mess getting ready to come down the pipeline, man. And I don't think that the system is built to deal with it the way that it should be. I really feel like some major stipulations have to be made and rules applied, because right now, bro, it's really, really entertaining to talk about this stuff and see it happening. But if I was a young cat in high school and was really paying attention to what was going on, I would be wondering, where is my future in this sport?
100%.
I really would.
Like, I feel really bad for like a kid like, the Elijah Haven kid, right? The number one quarterback. That kid, 2 years ago, that guy's getting a gigantic deal. Gigantic. Whatever, wherever we're paying Keelan Russell, he's getting that. He's that good. Now you come into the system, and I think the high school guys are going to take a hit down in a little bit because the money's going to be reallocated to the transfer portal, in my opinion, and to retention, which it should be. Retention for sure, and then transfer portal because you need older guys, right? I think that's going to be really interesting. Plus, like, I was just messing around, but like Jamie Mosley, he never like officially played. Right? Who's to say a guy like that who's been lifting weights at Alabama every single day, working out with the guys, right? It'd be like, yo, this whole Charles Bediako thing, coach, got me thinking, like, I got this job offer, okay, from Stanford to go coach the defensive line. But, what you think about this, DeBoer? I know we need a bandit player that has experience. And, what you think? Like, you want to be that case right now and you want me just to push forward and try to play here? Just think about it. Sleep on it, coach. And, we could talk about it. And then Jamie Mosley coming back to the Tide. Matt, like, this is crazy.
Oh, my God. It's just tore up, bro. I just hope we can get some parameters set in place, and I hope we hurry up and get Josh Payton voted in as commissioner so we can get this crap fixed, bro.
Shoot,
but anyway, man, that's all I got for today.
Right,
that just stuck with me. I pray everything go well with you, and
Thanks,
roll
brother.
tide, bro.
All right, man, take it easy. Roll tide, too. Steven out in Powder Springs, Georgia. All right, 502, let's do it. Hey, welcome to the show. Who am I on the line with and where are you calling in from?
Hey, Kyle, this is Mike from Kentucky.
Mike, what's up, on, man? What's the temperature up there? We got the fireplace on. What are we looking at?
It was 0 degrees this morning, bro.
Ooh, that sounds nice. So, do you have a stove that you're feeding?
Well, excuse me, I didn't hear you.
Do you have a stove that you feed wood to, or do you have just turn on the heat?
Yeah.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah, it's a wood stove.
Yeah.
Regular wood stove.
Yeah. That's the way to do it. That's how my dad's house is. And it's, that's just how it is. And when you go over there, you better take because you're going to get stuffed up, I mean, you don't have the moisture in there. Mike, man, welcome to the show, bro. It's been a while, man. But the world is changing. You call, and then there's 3 weeks that pass before you call again, and the world just changes that much more in college. It's crazy, man. What's the latest, man?
Yeah,
give us the update.
Bro, I don't know where we're going with all this, but it just seems like the wheels are completely off. I mean, the way players are – it just seems like college football's turned into a bunch of blood-sucking lawyers that call themselves sports agents.
Yeah, yeah.
And it's just, for the lack of a better term, Sodom and Gomorrah. This is what they're turning college football in. Because I tell you what, Dabo Swinney is 100% has the right to be mad enough to go down to Oxford, Mississippi with a 55-gallon drum of ass whoop and just pour it all over Pete Golding. I mean, I'm telling you right now, brother, that's how mad I'd be if I lost an All-American first team All-American middle linebacker because some blood-sucking lawyer wanted to get his 2% off a couple $1 million.
Yep.
I mean, we gotta put the brakes on that, bro. I mean, I ain't no Clemson fan, but I don't want to see that happen to nobody. That's crazy. It's what have we become? They don't even allow that in the pros.
And you know what's crazy? And I don't know if you saw this, everybody, but if you go to Clemson's official site and you type in Luke Ferrelli, he's still on the roster. But when you click to Luke Ferrelli, it says so you go to his roster page and you click his name, and then all it says is timeline of Luke Ferrelli, and you click it, and then it opens up to Dabo Swinney's explaining the whole timeline. I've never seen anything like that before, but here we are.
Yeah, it's just absolutely crazy. But let's talk about Alabama football a little bit. The running back room, I think the talent is there. If we can get the O-line straightened out. I remember my last call, I told you, I mean, the O-line is the biggest area of concern on the team. The O-line don't work, nothing works. To tell you the truth, I think Daniel Hill will be the man next year. I mean, I don't think he needs to lose 25 pounds and try to get faster because he's not, bro. He just needs to learn how to change the angle a little bit. And I think he could be a Eddie Lacy type running back. Remember how Eddie Lacy run through around over Notre Dame in the national championship game? Mm-hmm. I could see Daniel Hill becoming an Eddie Lacy if he could work on his little bit of a lateral juke, kind of incorporate that in his running style. I mean, Eddie Lacy didn't outrun people, but he could sure make them miss. If he got ahead of steam up, he had enough moxie to make them miss. And he was a load, man. Eddie Lacy is one of my favorite running backs of all time.
Man, and Eddie Lacy, I think he might have played heavier than Daniel Hill. I think Daniel Hill's like at 245. I think if you look it up, Eddie Lacy might have played at 255.
I think Eddie Lacy was closer to 260.
Yes, yeah. No, I think you're right. Enough, yeah.
Yeah, he had just enough lateral. He couldn't outrun the angle. I mean, he's never going to be a Herschel Walker or a Bo Jackson. But if he could just get that cat to where he could make the angle change just enough to where you can't get a clean hit on him, I think he'd be an all-day into the night running back.
Yeah.
I really do. I like his size. I mean, we've been trying these Smurf mobiles for a few years now, and they just haven't worked out. They just haven't worked out. They go down at contact too much. They can't take the first contact. I think we'll be okay if we can get that O-line. I still believe, man, we got to get this O-line, straightened out, and hopefully this new cat can get them going.
Yeah, I think the offensive line coach has pressure. I mean, there's pressure here. We know that. I mean, Ryan Grubb's under pressure. The offensive line coach under immediate pressure. having to resurrect that offensive line immediately to be able to take a step forward. That's why I was saying a couple of days ago, him and Grubb need to go on a guys trip. Just those 4 days and just fishing, hunting, whatever they're doing, and just get to know each other and be like, listen, this is the game plan. This is what we're going to do. This is our philosophy. How are we going to mesh well? Because if those guys are not on the same page and we continue to sputter there, that meat of the schedule after those first 5 winnable games, it is challenging. I think this next year's schedule, now granted you have more home games, is very, very challenging. All those teams that you have coming in, and the SEC is completely different, right, than the Big Ten. Right. You got good teams from the Big Ten. I mean, they've won the last 4 championships, but collectively the SEC is much stronger. So, man, they need to get in the same, mindset very quickly. Anything else, Mike?
Yeah, I got one more thing on my mind now that you mentioned scheduling. Notre Dame's getting a free pass this year, and from now on, as long as 100%. They're in the top 12 teams, they get an automatic bid. Well, I think they should put some kind of a clause that, you have to have at least a top 20 schedule to be eligible for that incentive. Because, the rest of college football at this point, I wouldn't even schedule Notre Dame. And if they're going to get that kind of special treatment from the NCAA, that they're automatic bid as long as they're in the top 12, make sure their schedule's about 125th in the country every year, and that'll put the brakes on that BS, because that really rubs me the wrong way, man.
100%.
I'm going to let somebody else.
Thanks, Mike. I appreciate it, man.
Talk.
Yep, no doubt, man.
Man.
Good to talk
Have
to you.
a good one, brother.
Yep, you too, man. Stay warm. All right, Mike, out in Kentucky with the roll tie back to you, man. 901, you're coming up next. Jarvis asked to see LSU schedule. But first, Mike was pointing out Notre Dame's schedule. We like to look at schedules from time to time. Look at this. This is Notre Dame's schedule this next year. Okay? You tell me what you think. Wisconsin, Rice. That sounds like some sort of meal, right? Wisconsin and Rice, right? Michigan State. They'll face Nick Sheridan. Purdue, okay, North Carolina, Stanford, BYU. This is Notre Dame we're looking at here, right? Yeah, Notre Dame or BYU, Navy, Miami, Boston College, SMU, Syracuse. These guys in the playoffs, 100%, right? Jarvis, who'd you say? LSU? LSU football schedule 2026. All right, let's see. I haven't looked at their schedule, so let's just see. All right, this is LSU's. All right, so you got Clemson. That's in Baton Rouge, because remember, I guess they did a home and home. Then you got Louisiana Tech. Ooh, look at this one. Wow. At Ole Miss, week 3. Yes, please. That's going to be amazing. What, right? You got Sam Levitt of LSU taking on Trinidad Chambliss. You got Golding taking on Kiffin. You got that game is at Oxford. Shoot, man, yes. Texas A&M, right? That's a nice little stretch right there. Okay, McNeese. Okay, they go to Kentucky. Okay, let's up just a little bit. At Auburn, always tough. Bama, Texas. Yo, this is a tough schedule. This is a hard schedule. I don't know how many games. I mean, what's the expectations of these guys? Kind of looking at it at a glance. Let's see. Let's say they win that game, lose. Okay, so wait. Okay, 2-1. We'll give them a win over Texas A&M. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7-1 at this point in time. Bama. Let's say Bama wins 7-2. Texas, games in Baton Rouge. I don't know, coin flip. That could be a third loss. Yeah, they're winning like 10 games. Something like that. Yeah, 9-3, 10. Yeah. That's I'll say that, Jarvis, right? 9-3, something like that. Yeah, 10-2, 9-3. Yeah. Looking at it like that. Good schedule. Yeah, I like it. I mean, the thing about it is you don't have a lot of too many difficult games like stacked on each other, and now you only have one bye week in the SEC. Good schedule. I like it. The early kickoff is good against Clemson. 901. Hey, thanks for
Hello?
thanks for being patient. Who am I on the line with and where are you calling in from?
I'm calling in from Memphis, Tennessee.
What's up, man? What's your name, bro?
My name's Trey, and I am an 18-year-old kid. I've been a Bama fan pretty much my whole life since I was born, and I've always wanted to get on here and kind of just talk to you about a couple things.
Come with it, bro.
And so my first question is, me and my dad talk about this all the time. How do you feel about Kane Womack's scheme on defense?
That's a good question. Did you say you're 10 years old?
No, I'm 18.
Oh, I thought you said 10. I was like, dude, I was like, you have the pipes for your own show, dog. You have a good voice. I was like, damn, this dude's 10? All right. So, Kane Womack's scheme. Very good question. Dude, if anybody had guts to change the defense after Saban, like, that was crazy. And this was an experiment that I think got off to clearly a bumpy start, right? We weren't accustomed to it. We didn't understand how it was going to do the first year, and I think there was some weaknesses, and you could run the ball against it. The second year, it got much better. Now, the only criticism that I have about the 4-2-5 is that within his 4-2-5, I don't feel that they send enough pressure. I think you could send much more pressure and turn it up, specifically because the secondary is so good. This year. So I like Yanzi Pierre, he's got to have way more than, if he doesn't have 10 sacks this year, it's a disappointment, right? And it's not on Yanzi, that is on Kane. So I think Kane's dad is helping him out a little bit, kind of behind the scenes, which is good. I don't care. You get help from your dad, that's fine. But I'm not mad about it. It took a lot of guts because Saban's defense was, that's what we're accustomed to. What else you got, man?
Yeah. Man, that's really all I had, because we always talk about it. It's just like, me personally, I feel like we should play a lot more. Like, when we blitz, we should play press man. I just feel like we got the guys to do it.
Yeah.
And I think that we should send a lot more pressure, like you said, because, when we don't do it, they just beat us on defense sometimes. And I feel like that's a little frustrating. Obviously, they saved us a couple times when our offense wasn't that good, but I just feel like that scheme's a little bit shaky, and I'm kind of scared for when we play Lane Kiffin in LSU, because I think he might expose that. I don't know, but I hope he doesn't.
Yeah, man. Well, like I said, man, you got a good delivery. Do you do like podcasts, or do you ever do like call-in shows? Do you mess around on that stuff? Because I'm telling you,
I haven't yet.
Yeah, well, think about it, man. Go ahead.
The crazy thing is, so I wanted to go to Alabama. I'm a freshman in college, and so. Obviously, I took my tour and things like that. I immediately fell in love and I wanted to go. But, some things happen. That scholarship money isn't what I wanted to be. But I decided to go to Ole Miss. And so now I'm a freshman at Ole Miss, and I major in sports management. And I want to become a broadcaster myself. So I always been watching these podcasts, for a very long time. And I also watch Cover Crimson. I've been very interested.
Yeah.
I try to take notes on what y'all do so I can eventually – work my way up into doing something like what y'all do. So, I am very interested in the podcast stuff as well.
All right, man. I'm telling you, man, you got the pipes for it for sure, bro. So, save my number, contact me, reach out. I'm always looking. I'm always like scouting the talent, out there. So, I'm really big into mentorship too. So, you have any questions or whatever, hit me up, Trey. But good job, man. Good call today, and I really appreciate it, man. Have a blessed day.
Okay, thank you, Kyle. I appreciate you.
No doubt, man. Take it easy, brother. All right, yeah, good call, man. You know what I'm saying? Look, we're talent scouts out here too. You hear it, you feel it. It's just that's how it operates, All right, fam. Well, that is the show today, and I appreciate you guys calling in. Yeah, thank you so much. Got off to a blind start. We were able to fly through the clouds and, get the show going. So I feel good about it. And thank you so much for kicking it with me right here on Bama Football on YouTube. I really appreciate you guys. By the way, the poll today, who will be the team's first running back or who will be the number one running back this next year? Daniel Hill, right? Daniel Hill. Yeah. All right. 46%. And then 23%, our boy Crowell. All right. We'll see what happens. 17%, AK. And then Riley at 14%. Yeah, good stuff. All right. We're going to try to push the raffle out, I guess, to like Friday. I think we got like and you know what? We do. Super Chats will get you in too. So I think we'll be able to be on track for a Friday pinwheel spin. All right. These are the hoodies, right? You win the hoodie, you email me, I'll send you the hoodie. All right. So this is what we're doing. How to get in: $10 up to 3 opportunities. Venmo Bama_YouTube. Cash App Bama YouTube. The pinwheel is back. All right. And I'm feeling better as well. So feel good. Sounds good. Hopefully I get the pipes back where they need to be. And I appreciate you guys so much for being here. I love you guys. Stay tuned. News as it happens right here on Bama Football on YouTube. Coming to you from beautiful Tuscaloosa, Alabama on this beautiful Wednesday, January 28th. Kyle Henderson, Bama Football on YouTube. Thanks for watching, fam. Hey, family, thanks for watching Wake Up Bama this morning on Thursday. Stay blessed, and we'll catch you during our 10 a.m. show right here on Bama Football on YouTube. I am almost back to 100%. I am so grateful for your well wishes, your blessings inside the comment box, and I'll catch up with you soon right here on Bama Football on YouTube. See you, family.